Level 3, what will it have in store for us? Well, it'll be mostly things that we explain as we go. I can't possibly put all the opening moves and maybe moves you need to remember on the screen. It wouldn't make much sense. That's really why the best way to consume this series is to catch it live. You really get to see the important things, the things that we're supposed to remember. You know, even the level 1 habits, you can see the habits rules, but to actually see it in progress, to see it happen, to see it explained, to see which rules we use more than others, which ones are must-knows, and which ones sort of get added that, I mean, not added necessarily, but mentioned that just don't really have any real estate on the screen. So I think in level 3, the biggest change will be perhaps to the beginning part of our games, the openings, just a little bit, and mostly the move orders. You might be doing the exact same habits, but now you're going to be a little bit more mindful. You're not just going to go all out, you know, this, in this exact order. It might make a lot more sense for you to do the same habit, but like, okay, I'm going to do that anyway. It's actually really smart to do it now, so I'm going to do it now. Example, if someone is going to bring their bishop out, right? And they're about to pin your knight and it's looking devastating, you might start with a snorkel earlier than usual. If your opponent's not taking the center and you've got a pawn there, yeah, I might get my other pawn right up beside it earlier than usual. So there's all these little adjustments that we're not really changing the moves we're playing, but might change the move order, be a little bit more mindful of the order that we play them in. Definitely. So I like the level 3 because it truly doesn't feel like it's that different. The openings will be different, but mostly it's changing up the order in which things get played. Happy to hear it, Crofty. Those episodes will continue to appear. Stan 227. Thank you very much and welcome back. Welcome back. 2 years together. So the thing is, Craig, we're going to be using the same openings as the first habit series, but I think they'll be less effective, personally. Right? Because it's been 4 years since I introduced those. Now, it's not like it was the first time they'd ever been seen, but at a large scale, I would say so. So I think our opponents are going to be a little bit better than the last time we did this series at handling stuff like that. So we will see. But I suspect that that they are going to be a little bit better. We may have to do a little bit of adapting, yep. So first of all, these are the habits we're working with. You'll notice that they're very, very, very similar. What you're not able to see here, what you're not able to see is all the work that goes into those endgames, right? Hard to put that all there. What you're not seeing is maybe how we're going to change the openings. Not going to put a bunch of moves on screen. Well, we're still on 5-minute games. We're at 1100. I stand by our openings from habits. Like I said, we might be changing up the move order, but we have a little bit more flexibility here. Because we're not just going to play the exact moves in the exact order. When you're at level 1 habits, I can't even trust you to play the moves you need to play. So I need to remind you to play them in a certain order. You're on level 3 now. You should know what the habits are. You should definitely have basic tactics in your arsenal. And you're going to see a big... I mean, it's almost irrelevant on the screen, but basic and advanced tactics. It's significant. It means looking at a few other tactical themes as you're reviewing those tactics, which you should be doing all the time. Biggest change from level 1 to level 2. You'll get to know what some advanced tactics are over the course of this series, of course. But let's just jump right in and see how level 3 changes what we already know, hopefully in a good way. It really should be unlocking some stuff, but in the first couple games, it'll usually be a bit of an adjustment period. I think this happens every time you level up. You have so much new knowledge that you don't necessarily know how to apply it yet, or how it might work with the stuff you already know. So it may not be perfectly seamless, but let's find out here. And we begin. Gather round, gather round. No, none of the habits will be dead, of course not. You've learned habits in level 1, level 2, they're still going to be very useful for you here. Level 3. 5-minute games. Well, we're definitely going to start off the same way with the move E4. I see the move D5. I'm still going to capture it, right? I see the queen come out. I'm still going to put the knight here. I'm still going to put the other knight here. So far, I wouldn't say that anything is that different, right? We're going to make a claim in the center here. See a move like that. Still going to take it. Are we sure we're not at level 1 here? We take this knight. The queen takes back. Might be on the lookout for something more fancy, but you know what? Let's get developed real nicely here. Bishop here. Castle. Ah, yes. So he goes bishop out, and then he goes bishop back. Well, this is perfect. This is perfect. We actually get to use something that's not even level 3. We get to use something from level 2 that we worked on. Now, we've never actually got a chance to play it. But this is one of those things I was saying last time. You never get a chance to play it, but don't feel bad. There's going to be an opportunity where you're going to have a chance to do it. The bishop and the queen line up on this pawn. I gotta go here. Okay, let's finish our development here. Bishop out. We can even use our super snorkel to assist. It's also going to get us a nice capture right there. So now we have the trades. Still doing the same things with rook into the middle. And here's a indicated, bishop b5 check. This is probably a move we would never play. But we're playing a little bit more active and a little less reactive. What I mean is, I'm probably not going to wait for someone to pin my knight. I might preempt it with h3. In this case, I want to play this to put my rook on the queen and the king. Some kind of tactical theme here. Well, if I give a nice check first of all, I improve my bishop, which was no good. It wasn't even hitting the center. So I check, and then I bring my rook into the middle, which is all part of habits. So you just do it in a little bit of a different order. I'm really playing all the same moves. I mean, getting my bishop out to that square. Game ends in, what? 14 moves? Not too difficult. Geez, level 3 is just so powerful. But how much of this was level 3? I mean, this looked all standard, right? Everything we saw here, completely the same, including castling. Even this one, less to do about level 3. We talked about this. When the bishop and queen aim at that pawn, you gotta go here. Even if that pawn was already there, we'd still have to do it. I know it's annoying. But there you go. Bishop comes out, hitting the center. Get a trade. Nothing new here. Now, is this move new? Absolutely. But our bishop is truthfully not really doing anything in the center. So normally I might improve it to here. But instead, I'm going to a bit of a further square, hitting the king. Because I know that if my opponent's king, especially if the queen is there as well, it's even better. Let's say the queen was here on d8. I would still do the same thing. I would still play bishop check and still play rook check because it's so powerful in chess. If you can ever castle first and get your rook into the middle and check your opponent's king, that's every single time a smart thing to do. So if I start with the rook here, my opponent's going to get castled and I just don't quite get to make the threat that I want. So instead, we do this or we do this. If I can ever get the rook to the middle, oh man, that's going to be good. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's stay in the center here. Bishop's coming out. Still going with this knight so that when the knight goes here, we can match with the bishop, right? d3. Okay, we should have enough time to get our bishop out here. And guy actually plays bishop e3. Well, not really allowed to go bishop c5 here, but what I can do is something back from level 2. My opponent allows me to take the full center. I will. Thank you very much. Not going to shy away, and that's a trade, so let's make it. We can get our bishop out finally. We can get castled, and I feel like everything is kind of happening the way we want. This is another great example of difference between level 1, 2, and 3, right? Level 1, I might look at these two moves and think, well, I can't go there and I can't go there because the double pawns. Level 2, I might be like, oh, I'll just go there, you know, because double pawns, whatever. We've known those to be pretty decent. But level 3, I might think to myself, okay, hang on a sec. I know that I want to bring my queen up into the middle. And if it also helps me with my bishop, I'm basically doing the same habits, but I'm just doing them in a way that makes a little bit more sense. We play bishop to e6. And okay, I'm still going to trade. So nothing's new on that front, but I'm able to get my bishop to the square I want to just from changing the move order, really. Normally, I'd bring the bishop out, bring the rook to the middle, then bring the queen. Instead, I know that I have to bring the queen eventually, so I may as well do it first. And then we get the bishop out in front. It makes perfect sense. We can stick to our rooks in the middle here. Even though it might be tempting to play this, I'm still going to go back with our good old-fashioned snorkel. Let's not forget what got us here, you know? Let's not forget who we are. Queen's attacked. Well, stay central here. We still have the rooks in the middle, the queen as well. The queen has moved over. What are we up to here? We've moved our pieces. We have the snorkel. Great. Get the random pawn move in. We haven't forgot about that one. We still do it. Right? We still do it. Okay. Well, here's one where we would always go red dot. But even, level 1, we probably got mated here, I'm not gonna lie. But level 2, this happened to us a few times, and, well, we basically got killed every time this happened, because we need to get out of the way, but we can't, because we're getting mated. So the only 2 moves I've ever played here are these 2, in case there was a way to defend that. In this case, I'm gonna go with G6. The only move I can really think of. Okay, gotta move our king here. It's getting killed. The queen and knight hitting that pawn remain undefeated. Okay, knight's hitting this. I think we stay central and hit the knight right back. That seems to make sense to me. Queen being hit here. Oof, we almost have nowhere to go. Can't really go in the center. We can stay near the center. Maybe. Ay. In the center. Whew. Well, it was nice. We had a good time. Opponent is basically going to checkmate us. Yeah, I don't I think we're pretty dead here, guys. Oh my goodness, this is rough. I don't know what to tell you here. Everything's hanging. This is not a happy place for me. So our bishop is hit, but it's defended. Okay, let's take a pawn here. Let's see what we can do. Okay, queen needs to move, I guess. In the center we go. Okay, hold on a second. Now hold on just a second here. Now hang on, folks. Okay. I can get behind this. Perfect. Check. Let's get our king to safety here. I can get behind this. Bruh. There's no way he calculated that, first of all, right? Okay, fair. Okay, fair. King h6. It was there for us. It was there. I don't know how we get ourselves to king h6 instead of king... I mean, back is safe. Back is safe. We were... We were in real trouble here. But queen to the middle got us exactly what we needed. Thought I was bringing my king to safety here. But he hits us with the check of his life. Not only is it a fork, it's just mate. Oh yeah, you knew h6 was the move. Man, I should have consulted the chat. You guys never make mistakes. Todd, a pretty good game, I gotta say. We kind of got rocked by Todd. I didn't mind our opening, and I hope we can see the difference in the habits application. We still did the same things, but we changed the order. And I think when you're at level 3, you want to make sure you're doing all the habits, right? You want to make sure you're doing all of them, but you do not need to do them in the exact same order. That's something that helps you remember what you're supposed to be doing. That's, when you're first starting out, you probably don't even know where the pieces should go. So just, you want to follow them a bit more blindly. Now, we reveal to you that everything we've been teaching you is actually still a fantastic idea. But you just have to be more mindful in the order that it happens. Why do I do these shitty moves on purpose? Fuck. So frustrating. Everyone in the chat saw King H6. Even the 800s. Fuck. So upset with this content. Ah! I hate what I'm watching. Everyone saw it. Well, if everyone saw it, did everyone see all the previous moves as well? Because if everyone saw every move, then everyone would be a GM. But everyone doesn't, do they? So while I'm making a large number of moves, probably 80% that the teacher is saying, okay, I'm making all these moves, teacher's at the front, making all these moves, 80% of you guys, I'm sorry, you couldn't make them. But the 20% is where you're focusing. You're failing to realize that you wouldn't be capable of all the other moves. How many times does this need to be explained? You're not capable of the others. You might be capable of that one, but you're not capable of the rest. Otherwise, you'd be this rating, or you'd be better. You're not capable of them. You would have hung checkmate. You would have blundered a piece. You would have put a piece on the wrong square. You would have forgotten to do one of the habits. So you can sit there and say that, well, I would have done better on that move. I can give it to you. Maybe you would, right? It's possible. But would you be able to do just as well or better on every single move? No, you can't. Unfortunately, I wish that for you, but you can't. I wish it for you, but it's just not true. So, we are merely representing the rating we're at. Your rating. You were right to be mad. You are entitled to your rights. We welcome everyone in the circle. Hate watchers alike. Hate watchers alike. Can I go forward a few moves? We just played the whole game. I don't even want to hear it, Maro. Don't taint yourself. You're a strong habits member. Is this level 2? This is level 3. It looks slightly different on screen. Slightly. But that's why I said you just got to watch, because I can't put everything that we're really amending on screen. It just doesn't make sense. So, let's go to the next game. Todd Bennett played a very strong game against us there. GG to Todd. Interesting name here. Okay, we're going to continue with the same things. Pawn into the middle. We get our knight out. E3. We're going to get our other knight out. So far, identical. Okay. This, for example, is a trade that at level 3 we are not going to be doing. I would say that this trade pretty much comes from the rule of needing to trade, but at level 3, let's just say we can do away with it. Okay, our bishop's getting attacked. Let's continue to move into the center. Bishop here. Got to go for a trade. I think we'll trade for the bishop. I don't mind that. We have another trade here that we can go for. Let's get our king castled. Okay, we have rook into the middle here. And certainly with this exposed pawn, like with the pawn all the way up here, I'm not about to walk into h6. We even talked about this, I want to say, as early as level 1? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was that early, but we really ran into some issues with g5. Right? g5 hurt us bad. So we're just going to be a little careful and not, I mean, why do we need this? It's just going to help our opponent. This would be a bit more useful in a more calm position. Okay, let's take that. Knight needs to move into the center. We can finish up our rooks into the middle here. King goes over. Well, I think it's time here. Notice how I'm still holding off on h6, but whenever you're playing your habits in a different order, for example, here I'm playing the random pawn move, right? So if I'm going for this one, it's not that I've forgotten about this. If you play the whole game and you truly don't play h6 ever, you're obviously going to be having a problem, a big problem. So you don't want that. What you do want is you want to maybe play it later when it feels safer to do so. But make sure it's in your head, right? If you're ever skipping something and saving it for later, make sure you're saving it for later. You can't get in the habit of like, oh yeah, I'll do that one later and then not remember. That's a problem. Okay, queen's just played. Queen b7. Well, we want to continue with our RPMs here. We haven't quit on those. Which ones shall we do? Queen here. Let's offer him a queen trade. Okay. He does not take. And I think a decent example is this position right here. Okay, queen is sitting there. Let's get our rook into the middle. I don't mind that. We can also double the rooks up here. But pretty much right after this is the exact moment where I'm probably going to make sure I play this. Right? Let's double up. And don't forget about the snorkel. Yeah, this is the exact moment. Like, this is where I look at the pawn move and I'm like, I need to include this. If you just go too long without including it, you're not going to be happy. All right, let's finish off these pawn moves over here. Keeping our rooks in the middle. And I think that we picked a good time to play h6 because our opponent is not really thinking about the crazy kind of kingside attack. Now, having said that, he might be like about to do it, but I still think we picked a good time. Trying to add some pressure in the center here. Only so much we can do. I wouldn't mind some trades as well. Our opponent's up some pawns on us, so I wouldn't say that this is it's not the greatest position that we've ever had. Just gonna put the pieces back in the middle here. Okay, he does go for something. It makes sense. At some point, kind of have to. I don't really know what I'm gonna go for because I feel like I'm attacking it, but it's just defended. Like, I can't really attack it more than it's being attacked. So, truthfully, I feel like I have a fine position, but I'm not sure what to do next. I still can't take this. I'd like to. What's happening here? Okay, we keep our pieces in the center. Kind of a difficult game. I'm not 100% sure what we can do here. Maybe we can bring our queen into the middle. I mean, we're probably about to get hit with everything there. Let's bring our queen in. Well, let's make this trade. He responds. What can we do here? We can put some pressure on this, but again, I'm not seeing anything there. So maybe a trade. It's kind of the most habits idea I've had in a while in this game. Let's try it. Okay. Let's try to trade a piece. This has been a particularly difficult game for us. I haven't found, and it'll happen sometimes, like, there's just no easy way to continue. Okay, let's stay in the middle here. We'll give a check to the king there. Okay. Try to trade some more here. Still a little bit stuck. Okay, well, that's a trade, and we can actually get a nice pin here. That's about all we got. So we got a pin. That's it. That's the story. All right. We have a pin. It's my job to attack this piece. So, for example, here, nice advanced tactic using a pin. Okay, but here's the pawn, and the king takes. Well, my pin, it didn't. I thought my pin would do more, but in the end, we just end up trading pieces, and well, not too proud of that. Let's go. Oh man. Okay. Well, we tried. Well, 0.5 seconds and a dream. .5 seconds and a dream. GG. I can never look at that game and say we deserved better. I was pretty lost most of this game. I don't mean lost as in maybe according to the position. I mean lost like literally. I was, we castled, we did everything right. But the position we got, we're down material, and I wasn't really sure how to go forward because you don't really want to touch any pawns in front of your king. Like, great, you have a rook in the center, they're doubled up in the middle. It's like they almost can't get better than that. I was hoping that a random pawn move would lead somewhere, but I don't see anything there either. So, I mean, it's going to happen. We're just going to have those games where you you kind of need to sit around and do nothing. So honestly, what I wish I did in hindsight was do nothing faster, right? Do nothing faster. I was doing nothing anyway, but I just wasn't ready to admit it. I was spending all my time to do nothing. So if we had just done nothing faster, it would have been a bit better. Not a terrible game, but we were down on time and certainly down on the clock as well because we couldn't really find a plan. Chalk it up to a statistical anomaly. Okay, let's play e4. Okay, opponent doing this move. I think this is a good example of what I mean. Like, if your opponent's making no claim to the center, I would start right away. Like, just take it. If you can get your 2 pawns in the center, that's a big achievement every time. Then we can follow with our knights and go from there. Okay, the queen's coming out. I think we'll continue with our idea here. Okay, he's going like that. Go ahead and take. Bishop's being hit. Let's just save this piece. We can get castled here. Trade. Staying on target here. Our bishop can also develop hitting the center. Pretty happy about that. And the pieces are lined up here. They're not exactly lined up in a way where I would say that this one is necessary. So I think we can just go for our usual snorkel. H3. The knight develops. It's time to move our queen and just get our rooks into the middle. Feel pretty good about this. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty comfortable. We're about to get the other rook in. Okay, so we have 2 rooks in the middle. We have our snorkel. This is a situation where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, well, what's the next plan? Well, I've said that the things we're learning, they don't really need to be tweaked too much. They just need to be, the order needs to be tweaked. In this case, the order I think worked out perfectly fine. I'd be very happy with anyone getting this position in level 3. Okay, doubling the rooks doesn't really make a lot of sense here, but we could get a piece into the middle of the board. Let's go ahead with this. Of course, you'll notice there's still no sacrifices, right? Still don't want you guys to, I mean, it's not the time. It's not the time. Let's go for this. Okay. Hidden our pawn here. Let's get to some relative safety. Queen takes our pawn. Okay. Well, since we're in the business of, you know, everybody taking pawns here, I think I'll join in on the fun. Okay. Which one are you taking now? Your turn. Okay. My turn. Okay. Your turn. You take a pawn, I'll take a pawn. You take a pawn, I'll take a pawn. Okay, well he didn't take his turn, but it is our turn, so I'm still playing the game. I don't know if he is. Okay, queen there, but we have a tactical moment here. Now we have the queen lined up. We can use this bishop, perform a nice tactic. So let's hit him with a tactic here. Perfect. Okay. Rook move over. I don't see the tactic. I really thought we did something there. Well, is that what happens at level 3? You do the same tactics, but they stop working. It's not advanced enough. What's the technology here? Well, we'll take his queen and I guess start bringing our pieces towards the center. We are in an end game, so it's time. It's time. Okay, rook over. I think we're sticking to our plan here. Bring the king in. Bishop back. All right, we'll just make sure to take this rook here, and we're in check. And our bishop's hanging. Well, we don't want to hang a piece, so we'll have to bring this bishop back. God, I hate it when they force me to play a good move. It's so frustrating. Our opponent's gone bishop here. Are there some ladies watching? I mean, I'm struggling to understand here. So I can't take you. Is that the whole point of the move? Just to tell me that? I mean, okay. I'll take your pawn. I'm curious if it was worth it. I'm curious, was it worth it? Okay, bring our king into the middle, I guess. It's never failed us before. Okay, rook up. I see you there. I see you. You're not letting me into the middle. That's no problem, though. No problem. We have, and we can gain access to the middle here with the rook. Okay. Just gonna continue our. Okay, move the king. Continue our RPMs here. I mean, it's the end game. The pawns are not in front of the king anymore, so more than happy to move them. Okay. Obviously a trade makes sense. Okay, we can get into the middle here. That's pretty nice. I'm all about the middle of the board here. Okay, let's get up here. Okay, well, I guess this is our this is our plan, whether it's good or not. I got one pawn, and I'm hoping it can go all the way here. Okay, I can still catch this pawn here. I'm trying to take my pawn all the way. Okay, I see you though. I see you. So let's make sure to get his pawn. Not gonna let that happen. Okay, take that. Okay, pawn for pawn wasn't exactly on my bingo card here. Oh, okay. Okay, what can we do? Try to trade these rooks. Okay. Okay. Let's get the trade going. Okay. Hold strong here. Just pre-move up if he lets me. And we take the repetition in the nick of time. The pre-moves helped us there. Pre-moves at the end of the game saved our tail. But you know what really saved our tail? The trades. Oh my goodness. We had our king in the middle, brought our king back in front of the pawn. Got some trades in, and the fact that this is a pawn on the outside of the board, fortunate for us because we're always going to have better chances to make a draw with a pawn on the side of the board. That's just the way it is. But regardless, I still would have probably defended the same way, no matter which pawn I was dealing with. The fact that it was this one made it even better. We took the full center here. Honestly, quite a habitual game. Not too much changed. I thought I hit him with a tactic there. Apparently we did nothing. Just getting used to level 3 here. You know, some growing pains. Okay. Well, pawn into the middle. Let's go with what we know. Knight out. We're going to match that. Bishop out. Well, let's go with our knight. Okay, we're going to capture towards the middle here. And our opponent does this. And you know what? Great moment here. Let's just play this move, right? Instead of maybe bringing our bishop out and losing a pawn. Okay, we know we need to support our center pawn. Don't want to just be tossing it for free. So, sure. I'm going to play this move instead. And I have no problem getting developed like this. We still get castled. I have my center pawn. That's a good feeling. Get our snorkel in here. Take that. And look at this. I'm not complaining. Rook into the middle. Okay. Get our queen up. And this is not bad at all. Okay, the rook over. Let's bring our other rook into the middle. Okay. RPM here. Got a safe king. I like it. I like it. Pawn goes up there. I'm still going to go for this, though. It's time to expand. Okay, he's going here. Let's capture. Okay, we'll just get the rest of these RPMs up here. Finish off that idea. Okay. All right. The queen is hit. Let's stay central. Take that. Okay, that's a capture as well. Hey, you interested in what I'm interested in, pal? Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. And let's bring our king in, right? We're in an endgame here. Focus up. King on into the middle. We just traded everything. Okay, now, what the hell are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? I mean, we got a couple bishops. I don't really know. Guess we could start pushing some pawns here. Okay, whatever we just did was absolutely the smartest idea because we just won a pawn. I don't know where that came from, but I'll take it. Literally, I'll take it. Okay, let's come back to the middle here. We got our good stuff. Okay, let's capture. And we have a nice skewer here. The bishop hitting the knight like that. Right in the center of the board as well. Not to be missed. Not to be missed. Yes, give me that. Freebie for me. Bishop has to move. Guess we've only got this option. Okay, knight's going back. I say we go central. Knight up. Let's save our pawn here. Knight up again. Save our pawn again. Okay. Knight here. Well, Can basically send this pawn up the board. There's nothing in front of it, so usually a pretty good time to do so. And he's going to resign. That's friendly. That's friendly. Getting us back on track a little bit here. Now, this endgame might have been a little bit more... I mean, we traded just everything, right? Leading up to that, it was just RPM city, trade city. We didn't really do anything here, and the guy just hung a pawn. And then he hung a tactic. So, the endgame was made a little bit easier. GG. We're back over 1100 for the first time ever. Okay, pawn into the middle. Bring out the knight. Obviously the other knight to follow. Bishop. And I'm definitely noticing my opponent's center here. So I'm going to start by taking, but I'm noticing, like, hang on a sec. Maybe we can get this pawn all the way up. So let's give that a try. The full pawn in the center. Okay, the knight needs to move. Can't go in the center, actually. So I guess this is, yeah, next best thing. Okay, bishop needs to hit the center. Let's go here. Let's get castled. Got our snorkel here. Not going to forget the basics. Anyone anyone got an idea? Okay, I don't know what move to do. I'm putting the rook in the middle. It's always good there. So this is maybe safe move to do. And perhaps we're able to utilize our advanced tactic here. No, call me crazy, but if you've got a pin, then the piece is not actually there, right? So it's not... Would you look at this? Would you look at this? We're using the pin. We're not just pinning something. We're actually making use of it. Quite literally what it means to play an advanced tactic. It's like it's not there. Now, if he moves the king, all of a sudden it's there again. Okay, he's hit us with a check. No problem. No problem. I get out of your way. Rook here. Now, I know this looks crazy, but our rook is actually safe here. So I'm not going to overreact. I think I'm just going to continue to develop. Is that insane? I'm just out here developing. Bishop to the middle. My rook is safe, but I got to be very mindful. The second I see this move, we need to be getting to safety. Rook takes g7. Okay. I mean, you're going to have to walk me through it here, bud. Queen there, okay. We have some safety again with our king. Some safety there, bud. Bet you didn't expect that. Queen f6. Ooh. Yeah, I did miss that. I did miss that. Real head scratcher. Real head scratcher. I guess the question is, will he resign? You shouldn't. I mean, you guys know you should never resign, period. But if your opponent hasn't taken the thing that you've made a mistake and hung, then you should definitely not resign. Right? So I'm wondering, like, does he have it in him? Maybe we can send him a little emoji here. I'll send him a facepalm emoji. Nothing. Nothing. Poker face. Crazy. Okay. We'll continue. There you go. And if I didn't send that emoji, I'd be sitting here for 5 more minutes playing this game out. But instead, we got a nice resign, and we get to move on to the next one. The shorter the games, the more games we play, the more instructive the series is. Make sure to send a facepalm emoji in the name of education. E4. Our opponent's going with E5. We'll bring the knight out. This is a pretty good example. I see this. Immediately, I want to take the middle of the board. I only see the one pawn there. I got my knight and my queen. It's a great opportunity to take the middle. Okay, we go back to the habits, right? We need the knights out. We need our bishop out. We need to get castled. Buddy's going here. Okay, what's happening here, guys? What's happening here? This is for me, right? This belongs to me. Queen there. Got to save our bishop. And just go all the way back here. Knight takes e4. Another great example, right? We belong to level 3. We are independent. We are playing active chess, not reactive chess. Reactive is like, huh, you took, I have to take. Active chess is saying, listen, my guy, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I'm going to castle. Big moment for ourselves here. Don't get caught up trying to be fancy. Look for tactics here. Instead, just get yourself to safety. And the same thing that happened earlier might happen again. I'm looking to get my rook into the middle against the king and queen. Anytime you can castle and bring your rook to the middle on an open file against your opponent's king, do it. Can't stress enough. So we're going to take back. But, I mean, at this point, you already know. Like, I've got this move on deck. Okay, bishop comes out. We've got to continue the rest of our game here. But our opponent is far behind in the current position. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make him pay. Bishop out. Let's finish our development. Okay. We're covering the center here. Just going to get our snorkel out. And the habits always take care of you if you take care of the habits. There we go. Nice little beautiful, beautiful pin right there. Okay, bishop's attacked. Okay, let's keep hitting the center here. We want to make sure to move our queen, double our rooks, all that good stuff. Double the rooks, right? This is what we need. And I'll probably send a few pawns up the board. Don't mind if I do. Okay. And we get a win pretty nicely. GG. You wouldn't have been able to resist Queen H5 check. No. But we won the queen here. You would have played Queen H5 check. Everyone in chat would have done things this way and won the queen. There's no way you're telling me you would have played queen h5 check here and missed an opportunity to win the queen 3 moves down the line. I'm very upset hearing that. As a matter of fact, I think you are playing queen h5 check here on purpose. There's no way that you are that stupid. I'm very, very upset hearing that information. I think you're trolling. I think you're playing this move on purpose. It's the only explanation. Because obviously, if you just follow the habits, play good high quality moves, when the guy castles, you'll have this tactic ready to go. At this rating, I'd assume that you saw that. You know, just follow the habits here, right? I'm just going to assume you're trolling. It does upset me, but we'll move on. The habits has always got your back. Don't worry. I'm in a position like this. Queen h5, yeah, looking like a snack. Great. But simple development, you're always going to have a good position. You might miss some opportunities, but you're going to have a good position. That's for sure. Hello, Lolly. You were thinking queen h5 as well, Casino? I mean, the joke is getting tired, guys. Ha ha. Stick to the habits, why don't you? Theo, thanks for the 58 months. Welcome back, Theo. Pawn in the middle. We ain't changing nothing here. Okay, the knight comes out. Great. We can still develop our pieces. In with our knight. And a nice adjustment that we can make is once again, take that full center. Okay, he's coming out with the bishop. Okay, I guess we'll take here. Whoa. Okay. What the hell's happening? Knight into the middle here. He's doing our level 3 stuff to us. He's doing our level 3 stuff to us. He's using a pin. That's quite an advanced move, my friend. Jeez, what am I gonna? I gotta bail out here. This was quite tricky by our friend here. We're in some serious trouble on c3. Okay, I'm feeling a little nervous here. Get our bishop out to the center. He's hitting me with that. We got this pawn hanging now. At this point, I'm a little spooked here. I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna get castled. I don't have it in me, and I'm not trying to be a hero here. Let's make that trade, and I'm gonna tuck my tail and get my habits in. I don't need to be the guy who tried to hang on to his pawn and live a very short life. Okay, queen here. Let's continue. Yeah, rook in the middle. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Okay. Obviously, we'll make a trade here. Okay. Other rook to the middle. Just trying not to be a hero here. Sticking to the fundamentals. Yes, they will still get it done. Our guy has no snork. What does he expect is going to happen? What does he expect? Oops. And it's always an extra special victory in the Habit series when you can checkmate someone on the back rank. Because we always have a snorkel. Our opponents should as well. Sooner or later, they will learn, but it always is extra special when you get to mate someone like that, because if they were following the habits, it would never happen. Feels good. Feels good. And the guy clearly knew some pretty nice habits at the beginning. I mean, he had like a pretty fancy opening on us. But I really stand by this decision where things are getting a little murky here. You're like, oh, okay, well, he's going to come with this next. It's a lot of pressure on my king. It's like, it's one pawn, guys. It's 1100 ELO and it's one pawn. You know what I mean? Relax. Like, you can just get the hell out of Dodge. We don't need to be a hero. Give up one pawn. I promise you, the difference between yourself and your opponent at 1100 ELO is not one pawn. it's not one pawn. Not at all. Let's move to the next one. Happy with that. Toad 2, thanks for the prime sub. Okay, let's match in the center. The knight comes out. Or rather, knight to follow. Hold on a sec. Make that trade. Knight's coming out. Let's get our bishop. Once again, reminding ourselves that that trade is just not one that we really consider. Queen out here. Okay, I think we'll continue with our plan. And again, I think this is another one of those moments where it's like, you want to win one pawn. I want to get castled. You want to take one pawn. You want to be a hero here. You know, go for it. All right. Be my guest. Has no bearing on me. Right. You want to take one pawn. It's not going to be the difference between a win and a loss. Right. There's no way that that one decision is going to affect the entire game. Get our snorkel in here. Let's get our queen up. Bring our rooks to the middle. Knight here, and, well, with my hawk-like vision, the same vision that you guys all have, I can see a nice fork here in the position. Well spotted. Well spotted. Now, the reactive chess in me would play this move. But the active chess in me would play this move. And then I can still move this piece back to b5. And we take here, moving out of the range of our opponent's vision. And what did I tell you? We can still come back to b5. That's what it's all about, folks. Let's go back to the center here. Make a trade. And you can see how we're set up for success here by the habits, right? Just stepping out of vision. And then, boom, right back to grab that knight, you know? Not letting him get away with it. Let's bring that knight back to the center here. Okay. Couple RPMs just to sort things out. Okay, hold the phone here. Let's get the rook into the center. Take this back. He's got the pawn here. Doesn't hurt to double up against that. Okay, pawn f4. Well, we definitely know what we are looking to do. Moves the rook. We are in an endgame. Let's get rid of our RPM here. Here, well, I actually kind of like this fork. Always the piece trades are appreciated, right? Let's bring our king into the middle a little bit here. Okay. Now, in the end game, got our king in the middle. Let's first do an oil check here. Trade. 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 Okay. I get it. I get it. All right. So he's not going to trade with me. Got it. What else can we do? Maybe we can attack this pawn. Okay, well, that didn't quite work either. Let's get our king into the middle, though. King into the middle. He's attacking our pawn here. I'm not going to lie, that's a little annoying. So let's save that pawn there. Perfect. With my hawk-like vision, I'm able to see this great tactic right here. I will take that one. Oh, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay. Still, I'm trying to attack this pawn. So I'm going back here because once I take this pawn, I feel like we have a runner, right? We have a pawn that's ready to go all the way. King up. Okay, let's move this rook, and yeah, we're just trying to push here. Go for that capture. King back. I think we just go for this. Okay, king back again. Just keep sending it. Capture. Okay. Need to move this rook out of the way. Give our opponent a nice little check right there. Make a queen, and hopefully we're able to get the win here. Okay, we can take that, and definitely want to take that as well. Okay. Okay, well, he plays until he has nothing left. You have to respect that, you know? Fights to the bitter end till he's got nothing left to lose. We take the win, though. The power of active chess and not reactive chess. Reactive would have us taking the piece back, right? We'd be sitting here going, well, you know, he took me, I take him. But instead, we can take this one. The knight's still under attack, and our bishop's probably going to escape. Even better. Okay, let's go. Pawn into the middle. We have e5 again. This is a common one. d6. We kind of know what we want to play against this, right? Straight into the middle. Take the entire center. Look at his bishop and where it can move to, and look at mine, right? The difference is very noticeable. Okay, our other knight follows. We're also going to defend our center. Here comes the bishop. Then we castle. This should all make sense. Okay, our knights hit. I always say, what's the safest square? Right back where you came from. And I stand by that. Bishop out. Well, that's going to be a good reminder to play our snorkel. Bishop goes back. Let's just continue with all of our pieces into the middle. Go with our rook. And we got to move our queen next. I'm actually looking at maybe the queen all the way up to d3, because if I go queen d2, I think we know that move is going to hurt. So I like queen d3, removing ourselves from the pin, but also protecting the knight. It's our responsibility to make sure we can take it back. I don't want this. Okay, the bishop goes there. Let's take it. Okay, the knight takes back. The knight's not really doing anything to me here. Right? Looking at the knight, I'm thinking to myself, okay, not Not really doing anything. Active, not reactive. I mean, bishop for knight like this, great. Right? You always like to take your opponent's bishops, especially for your knights. This knight, I don't know. Not the most bothered by it. I don't think this is a bad move at all, by the way. Taking on g5, completely fine. I really have no problem with it. But we don't need to do it. Right? We don't need to do it. Instead, let's use our pieces and combine them right in the center. Doesn't look like a bad idea at all. Now, I can't move this rook here, and I'm not gonna lie, it's quite annoying. So I'm just gonna skip ahead to my random pawn moves here because I'm not too happy with rook here not being able to be played. Okay, the random pawn moves up there. Let's go for one more. Okay, queen is hit. Center is not really available, so I guess we'll take a step back. We're watching a pawn, but we're also keeping an eye on the center of the board, most importantly. Okay. I will take it. All right, and he's hit us with the follow-up here. Well, we know the most important thing is the snork, so we got to lend it some defense here. Can't be out here losing that one for free. Okay, this is that's a capture for us right there. Takes back, and what do we have here? Whoa! Buddy! Hang on a sec. Jeez. Where can we put this queen? The center does not look available. This looks like the next best central square. Holy smokes, what a move. Rook to d8. Yay. Queen's hit. Center is available, so I guess we'll go there. Rook d8 was quite the geometry from our guy here. Okay, he takes. Let's take that. King is hit. Let's go here. Okay, we await the next move. Rook d2. Well, with our hawk-like vision, I think we're able to spot this nice tactic here. Just at its core, a simple fork. I'll take it, only because it's check. You had me there for a second. You had me there for a second. GG. Hey, Pink Floyd. Frog 4. Don't tell me these guys are together. There's no shot we just got a prime sub from Toad 2 and then 15 minutes later from Frog 4. There's no way. Is Amphibian 6 on the way? There's no shot. These are the latest 2 subs. You guys have to know each other. Toad 2 and Frog 4? What? What are the chances? BFFs for sure. Let's keep the good times coming. Pawn into the middle. We are going to bring the knight out. And we are up against the Sicilian, which is one of those openings that I would love to introduce a new move to. The move is c3. That's it. It's just c3. c3 is one of those moves that I always recommend against the Sicilian. Our goal is immediately to play d4. Immediately. That's why you're playing this move. So if you're not following up with d4, there is a problem. Take back there. Our opponent's going for this. Now, when you play c3, d4, okay, obviously you're going to get the entire center most of the time. After you get the whole center, my advice is usually to keep pushing. You might not win the game immediately, might not win the game at all, but I like the idea of d5. It might not always be the best in each position, but it's most likely going to do a lot of damage to your opponent. This move, it's a capture. I mean, we still play by the rules here. Take that, of course. Capturing a pair of knights in the center looks pretty fine to me. Okay, the knight comes out. Let's get our bishop out into the center here. Let's get castled. And let's go for that trade. Still doing the same old, same old. Bishop to c5. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go for our regular snork. Our bishop doesn't really have these two squares, so more natural is going to be this, I guess, kind of standard move for us. Moving a bit further out, pinning the knight. Okay, he goes back. Let's just bring that rook into the middle. He's going back. Let's make a trade here. Queen's got to move. We'll bring our rook into the middle. Absolutely. Oh, looking pretty solid here. Pieces hanging. Yeah, let's go here. Into the middle. I guess if he takes, we're just going to trade everything there. We have our snorkel. Our king's pretty safe here. Maybe we can double. Open file. So obviously I'm going to double here and not here. Let's do it. We have some RPMs to get into as well, and overall, I'm not disliking the position here. Okay, make a trade there. And we're all set up. You know, RPM's knight into the middle certainly stands out. Just gonna go here, I guess. We can complete our RPMs right here. Queen is hit. The center is not available. Next closest thing here, maybe? And as always, if the queens trade, I'm starting to think a little bit more about my king joining the center. Very important. This is the first time I think we've faced a Sicilian. So first time we've really needed to showcase our new stuff, our fancy new toys. Let's take here. We still have captures to make. And what can we do? We've got our queen pretty much in the middle here. I guess let's bring our knight into the center. Let's bring our knight into the center. We have a little bit more bandwidth. Ooh. Rook d8. Rook d8. I'm getting a vision. I'm getting a vision. Check. Check to the miserable king. And we get to take an entire rook. Bishop here. The same way we had the knight lined up here. We have the knight lined up here. And our tactical vision is unmatched. Almost hawk-like. GG. The tactics are helping out. Discovered attacks, discovered checks. You can see how it really just is tactics. At the beginning, when you're learning chess, you're just starting out, you don't need tactics. You truly don't. They are 100% irrelevant. You need to know where your pieces belong. By not playing tactics, you are going to miss tons of them. You go back and look at the first games you've ever played on the site, believe me, it's going to be riddled with tactics that you did not see. But who cares? You're putting your pieces on good squares. Later, it's going to start to become all about tactics because then you already know where the pieces go, and so do your opponents. So for the most part, you're both going to be playing higher quality moves. That's not going to separate you anymore. When you're at low elo, people don't know where the knights go. They don't know that the pieces should go towards the center. They don't know in the end game that your king should be moving a lot. So you can separate yourself from those players with those simple additions. But once you're up here, they're doing those things too. So what really separates you now is you're still doing all the exact same things, but you just got more tactical vision. You're making more things happen. You know about the tactical patterns. So ignore them completely when you're learning chess right at the start. But then you don't just need to add them. You need to drill them like crazy. You need to know every pattern. Tactics are going to start to dominate your games from 800 to 1600. That entire window is probably just basic ass level 1 habits plus a lot of goddamn tactics. Playing them every time they're possible. Trying not to blunder them while executing them yourself. Security. Yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, we'll just into the black van. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so there's no alternative to chess.com. Definitely the best place to do puzzles. Obviously, it's a premium feature, And you can make sure to use the chessbrah link, !premium, chessbrah affiliate code. So when you guys are drilling your tactics on the only place in the world to drill them, you can support us as well by using that affiliate link. Thank you guys. !premium. We're only at 1149. We are not at 1150. Don't you dare call me that. It hasn't happened yet. Thank you, Stratocaster, for the 13 months with Prime. Joe Cool, thank you for the 39 months. Dr. Paps, half a year together. An LJS fan, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome in. Let's get back. Hello, the Malone Ranger. We're building them habits. Level 3. E4. Ah, we got the Sicilian again. Okay. Now let's see here. Let's see. Which Sicilian are we going to get? There's a lot of them. Okay, that's one of the least interesting Sicilians. Well, let's go ahead and play our... I mean, you guys know what we're trying to play here. Okay, we have our center once again. And at this point, I've said it. I stand by it. Just do it. Just send the pawn up. It's going to cause your opponent some difficulty. Probably not going to handle it correctly most of the time. And in particular, there's some other lines in the Sicilian where the same thing's going to happen, but your opponent's setup is going to be different, and it's going to work well. In this case, where the hell is the guy's knight going, right? Clearly, this has been very successful. The guy didn't even put it in the middle. He's played e6. Okay? Congratulations. I don't think this position is one of those reactive positions where I'm going to take and say, hey, why don't you get developed? I feel bad for you. You know, I'm not here to round my total up to the nearest dollar to support charity. Okay? I'm here to do my own thing. Let's castle. And of course, let's not forget our habits here. I mean, what are we talking about? H3, yes. Snorkel, yes. Bishop, rook. I'll start with the rook. I kind of want to see what's going to happen. Okay, bishop needs to move. Obviously, we'll keep hitting the center here. Look at the knight. It doesn't look very good. And we outweighted our opponent. Congratulations, everyone. We outweighted our opponent. Oh, boy, it feels good. We won the mind game. Like, into the center here. I mean, it practically feels like a victory already. Let's move our bishop. Hitting the center, but more importantly, hitting the knight as well. Annoying the hell out of him. Now, why is the knight even there? Because of our d5 move earlier. E6 and takes and all the pieces, like everything that we have in this position is actually because of how annoying we were earlier. So, congratulations, everyone. Let's just get our queen up and rook into the middle. This is a great example of, do I want to take this knight when the queen can just take it back? No. Right? There's just no need. If it was maybe like bishop for bishop, I'd be more interested, but if I'm attacking something and it's not attacking me, I definitely don't need to take that piece. Hopefully that makes sense. If the bishops are attacking each other, it's a little more obvious that like something needs to happen, right? But my bishop's attacking the knight. There's no need to take that piece Unless it's goddamn free, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, absolutely. Give me that. Tasty. Trade. Bishop needs to move. Center. Okay. Let's get our rook into the middle here. We have our snorkel. Rooks to the middle. Feeling pretty good about this. Let's get some RPMs in. Okay, queen is hit. Stay central here. Just conclude our RPMs. I have one more in the center, so I'll probably go for that one as well. Oh, okay. I'll take that first, and yeah, I guess, as I said, finish off our RPMs in the middle here. Take that, and what's he gonna do? He's hitting our queen. Let's go into the center. That's the first place I'll look every single time. Okay, bishop here. Well, I have some friendly moves that I can make with this knight. But I'm looking at one move in particular here. Yeah, don't mind me, guys. Just out here with my hawk-like vision. Yep. Don't mind me, please. Let's take this. Okay. Well, we have no more pawns to move, really. We have maybe rooks to double in the center. I don't really mind this. Okay. We'll try that. He's got a snorkel. Congratulations. Move 31. He joined us. I'm not too sure what to do next. We can't like bring our rooks down or anything, so kind of unfortunate. What can we do here? I feel like we got our queen in the middle, but like for what, you know? Can't even move our queen there. So I guess for now we'll use our knight. I would like to get my queen there though. The knight is not it's not the thing that I want to have there. Yeah, this is, I can feel the game is it's not exactly what we want here, but we'll be trying. Okay, let's queen back to the middle, I guess. We're staying right here. Ooh. Trade, please. Thank you. Okay, we probably need our king in the middle here. We've got our knight in the center. We'd love to trade. Obviously he's probably not going to do that, but we would like to trade rooks, and we would like to bring our king in. That is it. That is all. Okay. Hitting the center here. Guard this. Okay, time to bring the king. Okay. Okay. Take that rook. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. 11.6 seconds. Got way too much time here. The resignations are insane. Insane resignations. Don't be that guy. I can't believe the resignation here. Okay, this is move, let's see here. 39. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 moves. Okay? And we went from 24 seconds to 11 seconds. How can you resign seeing pace like that? A serious question. It's wild to me. Absolutely wild. You have to be more thoughtful than that. Guys, never resign. Doesn't need to be said again. Don't do it. You could be playing someone super fast, and I would say, well, still, don't resign. But you're playing someone super slow? I mean, even better. Let's continue. You may now call me an 1150. Pawn into the center. We start with this knight. Mainly because if the knight comes out, I want to be able to match it. Let's go here. Bishop wants to get out. There we go. Okay. Just going with this one. So I would say maybe this is a situation, right? Someone's doing this. We might blindly end up in some of these positions. But you know what? I'm looking at the snorkel and I'm saying to myself, well, it makes sense to do it first because this guy's probably got one idea, and it's bishop g5. One idea. Let me just stop it. Okay, and he's going here. Again, let me do this before I rush in and castle. And look at the difference. What the heck is this guy doing? Right? You just have to know that if your opponent is bringing the queen out early like this, that they have to be up to something, right? They have to be up to something. They're clearly a more aggressive player. I would definitely make a point of holding off on certain moves, and this is exactly what level 3 is about. I'm making the exact same moves, but I'm definitely making them in a certain order. Making them in a certain order. Okay, had I made them in a different order, maybe there would already be checkmate threats against me. So, in this case, d5. Our opponent has moved the queen. Let's take the entire center. But he's hitting me with what? Queen g3. Okay, queen g3. Active, not reactive. He's got one queen out. I've got my whole army. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. There's a big difference. You have to trust that your position is going to be better, right? It's pretty rare in chess that your opponent only has one queen. You've got all 4 of your pieces and you're expanding in the center and your opponent's better. That's just not how chess works. He takes back. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. Straight into the center. Look at the difference between this game and some of our other games. Guy is just hanging a queen, but it makes sense. I mean, in general, you have to understand people that play their queen out on move 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, they're definitely not players that understand the game the way it's supposed to be played. They definitely understand a lot about the game, but it's more rooted in like tactical and trappy kind of stuff. So you can just stick it to them. They got a queen out, like, I'm all over you, man. I'm all over you. Let's take it. Bishop takes. How about a nice fork for you? How does this feel? How does this feel? Let's take it. Okay, there's a hanging piece here. Bishop needs to move. I'll just go right back where we came from. And that's a trade for us right there. So, especially given how much material we are ahead, we're not going to hesitate. Okay. Queen needs to move. Let's get castled. Not forget our very basic habits. Bring our rook to the middle. Okay, queen needs to move. We can bring our other rook. I don't think we're going to stress too much about this game. The basic habits will take us home. Okay, here, well, we have a trade, so let's go ahead and do that. Make this capture here. And what is the medicine that we should administer to our opponent here? Let's see if we can just push. Okay, not quite, not quite. What can we do here? Get a rook in somewhere. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of take everything in sight here. Okay. Take everything. Go for this. Push a pawn's never failed me before. Not about to start failing me now. With my hawk-like vision here, able to see a nice tactic. Okay, king's moving over. More hawk-like vision here. Great fork. Okay. Our opponent is he's still battling on here. You love to see it. Oh. Let's make sure to take this. I'm not going to lie. This has never happened. We're at 1150 and it's never happened. Can you believe it? 1150. Not one time has it ever occurred. It's almost poetic because we do it to everyone. We play on as we should. Bogdan decided to play on, and he was rewarded. The most important habit, never resign. He never resigned. It paid off. We were literally two moves away from a win, but we get punished the same way that we've been punishing everyone else. Playing on. It's always worth it. It truly is. This game is probably the best reminder of that. Right? We think we're just promoting a pawn here, and there's so many cases where someone's moving the pawn up the board and you don't take it and it becomes a queen or something. So I was like, okay, let's just take it and then do this. But of course, the geometry here is just perfect to corner the king. That's why you play on. It can happen to us too. This is why we do it. We can't be upset that someone else is doing it too. It puts a wry smile on my face. A draw earned. Yet, the only bad thing is that he's not going to realize that it was playing on that got him this. I think he is going to assume it was his great opening that got him that draw. So, yeah, unfortunate. Well, at least the next guy that goes up against him is going to get to play against this queen move early on. You're welcome, whoever you are.